Hello everybody, my name is Aud, and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're reading a story about a guy whose wife fell in love and left him for someone else. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's make a start. My wife and I opened our marriage in January. She started dating a cis man, and it triggered a lot of insecurity for me. I'm a trans guy. And she agreed to keep sex off the table until I felt less dysphoric. Recently, she told me she doesn't love me as much as her boyfriend, and she doesn't want to be married anymore. I met up with her boyfriend's wife, and she told me they've been sleeping together this whole time. I feel heartbroken and betrayed, and I'm not sure I want to stay poly as I move forward in my dating life, because my biggest fear came true. Someone's left a comment saying, I took a look at some of your previous posts, and it doesn't sound like she left you because you're trans. I'm also trans, and saying that doesn't help. The trauma we face is not simple to dispel, but I hope hearing these things can also build up over time. People who are going through a very rough patch in their relationship, but proceed to polyamory during an unstable time, well, it's very, very, very common for the relationship to end. It's also very common for trans people who are in a relationship prior/during important physical transition steps, like surgery, to get dumped. Transition is a long and difficult process, and the truth is attraction is not simple. Sometimes relationships end really through no fault of either party. They just aren't compatible anymore. Unfortunately, you had 3 big factors going against you. It also sounds like she cheated on you, since she agreed to not make things sexual yet and then did it while lying to you. I do agree with folks saying polyamory is not about the rules that control the other person, and their relationship is. But at the same time, there was an agreement between you, and she violated the agreement. That is the definition of cheating. I recommend therapy for yourself to help weather these hard times and to make bigger life decisions, like if you want to stay with her after she's cheated, or even if you want to try polyamory from a place of mental stability. Sometimes we hold on to relationships that are unhealthy for us because we feel so much love, but love is not enough to make relationship work. Wishing you the best. Someone else has left a comment saying, insecurities and fears are going to happen. In poly, in monogamy, that is the risk of dating and meeting new people in general. You can't blame a lifestyle for shitbag people. She was a liar and a cheater, and regardless if you opened your relationship up or not, she didn't respect you enough to lie to you about having sex with someone else. She probably would have or has already cheated on you before you opened up. It sucks and it's hard, but being poly is not to blame. Someone left a reply saying, what is eye-opening about your comment is the last few sentences. People will try and blame their romantic orientation as a shield for deceitful behavior, yet fail to realize these issues occur in monogamy as well. Some things are inevitable, regardless of the dating path. I completely agree. Someone left a comment saying, wow, I'm sorry this happened to you. NRE is real. And her love for her new partner is probably NRE, or limerence. All about anticipation and the new connection. It's not honestly about you. This isn't polyamory. This is flat out cheating. What made you open the relationship up in January, if I may ask? OP replied saying, I suggested it because I've seen my sister and her husband do it successfully for many years, and it just made sense to try it. My wife was also the first person I'd ever dated, and I met her before I transitioned. So I wanted to see what dating was like as a trans person. Someone else left a comment saying, trans non-binary person here. Also, this is kind of an everyone sucks situation. There's no clear asshole. I can totally appreciate feeling insecure and dysphoric about your partner being intimately involved with a cis man. However, I think it's really unfair to make your wife's responsibility. In my opinion, with poly, it's important not to impose those insecurities and put limitations on how your partner practices it. Everyone should be free to connect with who they want and how they want, as long as there are no risks to everyone's physical health. It's up to you to work through your own shit, and if you haven't yet, you shouldn't practice polyamory. I can also imagine your wife was upset about you projecting your insecurities and trying to define how her relationships would progress. However she handled it was also unfair and disrespectful. She told you she agreed when she didn't, and cheated on you. Your marriage ending is not due to polyamory as a relationship framework. Your marriage ended due to the unfair expectations and lack of open communication. This kind of stuff happens in all types of relationships. It's totally fair if poly is not for you. But I'd ask you to consider evaluating it separately from what happened with your wife. Someone else replied to this saying, there is most certainly a clear asshole in this situation. I get so tired of the narrative that expressing insecurities and asking our partners to take things slow while we work through them is an imposition, especially when you're just opening up. It's not asking for too much, and it's not being unfair to anyone. The wife agreed to keep sex off the table, and that was a straight up lie. Sometimes working through your own shit looks like making reasonable requests of our partners. The wife could have pushed back and offered some other form of reassurance, or a compromise of some kind to negotiate with. She didn't. She agreed to the request made by her partner, and then didn't live up to it. Completely agree. OP, I'm sorry to hear that this happened. It's a very tricky situation. What do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, we'll have to leave that one there. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.